the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome in here, race fans. Tonight, it's the Red Light Racing. It's the Scrambler series. They whipped out the old Xfinity car here, and they are live from the Pocono International Raceway here tonight for the Green Forest Tree Supply 162. Up in the booth here tonight, it is Muth as always with the Red Light series, and alongside me, it's the guy that's from upstate New York. It's the boss man, Al Smith. Al, this track is smack dab in between yourself and myself here in New York and Pennsylvania in the hills of Pocono.
Yeah, glad to be down here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania at the Pocono Raceway for tonight's 162-miler brought to you by the Green Forest Tree Supply, Roger. And couldn't ask for any better weather than what we have here tonight. Absolutely gorgeous out, and we've got a packed grandstand.
Unfortunately, the tickets, the infield campsite that I had bought, we will not be attending the Pocono International Raceway, so this is the closest I will be this season to not only watching a race, but seeing a race and, I guess, partaking in a little bit of race activities.
Well, there's no better way than to do it with the Red Light Scrambler series. They're going to put on a show to our home away from home here as we are... It's pretty down here. I see why you like Pennsylvania, Roger.
Honeymoon capital of the world here in the Pocono, Long Pond, Pennsylvania, whatever you want to even call it at this point. Al, they call it the honeymoon capital.
No rain in the forecast right now as the weather is looking like a cool 77 degrees as qualifying getting ready to go underway here at the Pocono Raceway. 5 minutes as they get ready to go out there. 31 cars trying to tie for that pole position here for tonight's Green Forest Tree Supply 162, and a little bit of a wind, 4 miles an hour, almost 5 mile an hour wind to the west. How will that affect qualifying, and do the drivers, will they be able to feel that here on the very big 2-mile racetrack here at the Pocono Raceway?
Well, a westward wind here at the Pocono International Raceway as we watch Josh Buckley come up to speed here out of turn number 1. That wind right now would be coming from his passenger side to his driver's side. So it would be a crosswind on the straightaways other than the little short shoot here after the tunnel turn where Buckley's coming through right now. This is the tunnel turn, one of the trickiest spots on this track. Right here, this would be a tailwind right now with Buckley, and it's going into this very long, sweeping, flat left-hand corner before the long straightaway here on Pocono down the front stretch. So it's going to give you a little bit more momentum going into turn number 3, and that's something that a lot of drivers, they don't want. They like to back it off a little bit early going into turn number 3 and then get that run coming out of turn 3 down the front straightaway. So we'll see how that will affect guys. Will be a crosswind right here down the front straightaway also.
Buckley going to drive it down to that yellow line, and I did hear in practice some of the drivers were shifting into a long run. As you hear Buckley shifting into that 4th gear, working down the straightaway here down into the tunnel turn, and the tunnel turn was a little bit tricky for some of these drivers in practice. A little bit of a rough bump. 2 turns 2 here, and then they're going to go into turn number 3. And that is a complete lap around Pocono Raceway. We'll see who could cause someone a race if they over-rev their engine as Buckley comes across the line. And he will slot the number 2 into the 4th quick this time. Right now, Richard Murdoch is your provisional pole sitter after just 1 lap.
Yeah, a couple other drivers have turned in a qualifying lap here tonight. Looks like Murdoch, Skelton, so the 2 South Carolina boys right now at the top of the speed charts here in Pennsylvania. We'll see if they're able to hang on still Got 2 minutes left in our qualifying session here for these drivers to see who will be able to take home the starting lineup tonight. Tonight's race, once again, is brought to us by the Green Forest Tree Supply. Head on over. Anybody looking for any kind of, well, let's just look at it. It's trees, it's bushes, it is plants in general. You need any kind of greenery in your yard. Head on over to Green Forest Tree Supply on checkout. Use promo code REDLIGHT for 25% off. And right now, the man from the north, I think he still has snow on the ground, and he's out here on iRacing. He was P1 for a moment. Now James Skelton goes back to the top of the leaderboards with just 1 minute and 40 seconds left here. A couple of these boys, though, are from Pennsylvania. Look at the driver here, the 940 of Josiah Millen. He hails out of the Topton, Pennsylvania area. He right now is in the 19th fastest position. Here is the driver of the 913, Donald Bennett, also hailing out of Topton, Pennsylvania. So a couple of the Pennsylvania boys. Also another one out there is Nathan Maurer in the 71. He slots in this right now 10th position.
The new quick time, Max Stereo, your current points leader in the Red Light Scrambler series, has gone to the quick time as he will knock Skelton back to the number 2 position with a 56.013. That is just 0.003 seconds quicker than Skelton is, so times very, very close.
He will go 23rd quickest on his first lap, so it was not a very good get up and go lap here tonight. Looking at it, it looks like also Robert Dudley is out there with his Crestwood ALS Association 49. He doesn't have a lap in, and it looks like he'll be able to get just one timed lap in here at Pocono because it is such a big track. He will come out of turn 3, and he'll be able to put one timed lap in at least here tonight. So 25, it'll be 26 drivers that at least get one lap timed here tonight.
Only other driver on the racetrack right now is a 997 of Lee Bedsall. I'm not quite sure he's going to make it back to the line there. So it looks like your provisional pole sitter is going to be the 42 of Max Stereo, as qualifying is in the books as we get ready to go with tonight's main, or the Green Forest Tree Supply 162.
Yeah, that's coming up here in just a second as these guys, trees here in Pennsylvania, and the foliage in the fall is absolutely beautiful in this area. So if you want trees in your yard to look as beautiful as it does here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania, hit up the greenforesttreesupply.com and use, remember, on your checkout, Red Light for 25% off, and tell them that Joe Strano actually sent you over there. But it looks like officially we are going to start to grid these boys up here tonight. This is how your front row will start here tonight at Pocono. One day, Al, remember to hit the right button here. This is officially your starting lineup here tonight for the Green Forest Tree Supply 162. Starting on the pole, it's the man from Canada. It'll be the 42 of Max Terriol. Starting on the outside, out of Carolina, South Carolina, it'll be the driver of the 86 of James Skelton. Row number 2, it'll be the man in the 31, brand new paint on that machine here tonight. It'll be Michael Trevarthen. The driver out of Somerville, South Carolina, the teacher, the lunch lady. It is going to be the driver of the 01, Richard Murdoch. Row 3, it'll be the 18 of James Heater back in action here tonight. And the man that's got the hot shoe so far in the early goings this season, it'll be the Classics Hot Sauce Chevrolet, the number 10 of Tim Blum. Row 4, it'll be the 35. He's got a win to his name this season. It'll be Cameron Hearn driving the 35 this week. And the number 2 of Josh Buckley tonight has new colors on the side of that number 2. It'll be the Green Forest Tree Supply Ford Mustang of Josh Buckley. Row 5, it'll be the 62 of Ethan Troutman. And next to him, it's another one of those local drivers. It'll be the 71 of Nathan Maurer.
Starting on the inside of row number 7 will be the 965, the old shed machine. That is Brandon Massey. To his outside, the number 3 of Tony Strano. Starting on the inside of row number 8 will be the 29 of Ira Kohlhaas, and Ryan O'Danny with a taste of the 80s. 98 will start 16th. Starting on the inside of row number 9 will be the 11 of Leo Bordage. To his outside, the 948 draft top machine of Michael Bromley. And on the inside of row number 10 will be the number 51, that's DJ Anderson, and his dancing partner will be the 938 of Cody Levitt.
Starting on row number 11, here it'll be 2 drivers out of Pennsylvania, both out of Topton, Pennsylvania. It'll be the 940 of Josiah Millen and Donald Bennett. Row number 12 here tonight. It'll be the 30 of Justin Gann and the 43. Sponsored entry here tonight by the Green Forest Tree Supply of Joe Strano. Row number 13, it'll be the ALS Association 49 of Robert Dudley, and the man from Australia, it'll be Kevin O'Brien in the 184. Row 14, it'll be the driver of the 4, Kyle Souza, and the driver out of the Legacy Esports Group. Butt kicker entry here tonight, the 946 of Richard Regan. Row 15, it'll be Lee Betzel and Christopher Rothrock. Row 16, starting shotgun, it'll be the driver of the 915, Dustin Gainey. And that is your starting lineup here tonight. As they come out of turn number 3, we are going to drop the hammer here in the Green Forest Tree Supply 162 here tonight, presented by the Red Light Racing Scrambler Series. And we are racing here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. It is going to be a drag race down into turn number 1 by your front 2. Skelton to the outside, Terriel down to the bottom, movers and shakers out towards the back.
Side by side, no one really peeking out 3 wide as they come into turn number 1 for the first time. It'll be Dario working onto the race lead. He's got a 2-car length advantage over to 31, Trevarthen and Skelton running side by side there for your number 2 spot. Now they'll get single file down into the tunnel turn as Murdoch will move to the outside of the 86 of Skelton. That's a side by side battle for third.
Yeah, that's the battle for third. Caution flag going to come out here. It looks like maybe Donald Bennett up into the outside catch fence in the tunnel turn here. The driver of the 913. We will have to take a look back here. Lap number 1, the first caution flag of the night. And I think Al just jumped out of the booth here. Al!
Yeah,
hey, Mike?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I didn't think he was actually going to do it, race fans, but let's watch this back on the Turn 3 Racing replay. He didn't make it quite to Turn 3 as a couple drivers towards the back of the field here having a little bit of issues. We're watching high and wide here at Pocono. Look how wide this racetrack is. A lot of room for these drivers here tonight. Let's watch the 913 here of Donald Bennett. You're watching the center of the screen. The driver in the orange and blue 913. What happens coming down here into the corner? It looks like that outside lane checks up, and Lee Betzel going to go from the bottom lane all the way to the top lane. Bennett going to go sideways. He's actually able to hang on to it, Al, but iRacing officials is going to deem that a caution flag here tonight. He was completely sideways, and a good driving by the driver out of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, keeping it out of the outside Armco barrier was the 913 Donald Bennett, and great driving there. But the flagman dropping the yellow silk for the first time here tonight. And how about that? No one else getting piled in. Maybe a little bit of right front damage on Betzel's number 997 automobile. But other than that, I don't really think too much damage to any car, as they should be able to carry on without any problem here. So lap number 1 on the tricky triangle being a little bit tricky for the 997 and the 913. They bring us under.
Michael Trevarthen, he is actually going to fake. He is going to come right back out onto the track. He's not going to come down pit road. Neither will Skelton, Murdoch, Heater, or Hearn. Right now, a couple other guys faking like they're going to come down, and now it looks like Michael Bromley is going to bring the draft top 948 down pit road here right away. Going to be 4 tires, most likely. Driver coming down is Cody Levitt. It's going to be a lot longer of a drive, though, for Levitt out of Las Vegas.
Yeah, he made the cross-country truck. Actually got into town last night. Some out there social distancing in the parking lot till the gates open here tonight at the Pocono Raceway. DJ Anderson down and away in his Valvoline 51 Toyota Camry. Or is that the Supra?
That is absolutely a Supra. They have such a nicer, we'll call it a style lines on the Supra than it is the old Toyota.
That is very true. So out and away. So it looks like we have about 9 drivers come down pit road this time for their pit stop. Looks like fuel only for a couple drivers, and 4 tire change on some of the other. Not Donald Bennett, who fixed some damage on the left rear of that 913 automobile. He's back out onto the racetrack and should be able to carry forward for this one. So not the way he wanted to start tonight, but a long ways to go, and long time to get there.
Yeah, and well, let's see. I believe we actually have a communication line established with that driver from Pennsylvania, so why don't we just go ahead and see what Donald Bennett has to say about this 913 right now and how much damage is on it. Let's see if we can just dial him up real quick. Donald, it's Muth up here in the booth. You got a copy with us?
Yes, sir.
Well, I know you absolutely love coming to talk to me, maybe not under these circumstances here at Pocono such early on, but tell us how much damage is done to this Turn 3 Racing Network car here tonight. There looks like a little scrapes on the left side, but how much damage was actually done down on pit road?
We had 12.5 seconds. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, with only 12.5 seconds, do you think it's going to affect the handling on this Chevrolet here tonight, or do you think it's going to be like it unloaded off the trailer?
Only timer's gonna tell. I'm not sure. It seems fine, but we ain't going yet, so.
Well, we're not going, but you're coming down pit road. Did you guys get the one to go this time? Well, and now we were gonna toss all 50 some odd viewers that we had your way over to Twitch, and now we don't have anywhere to send them because they sure as heck don't want to listen to Al and I.
I appreciate it, man. Next time we will definitely get it going.
Well, you got to get it going. Anybody that's tuning in, though, there's the driver out of Pennsylvania. A little bit of damage on his 931. Usually streaming over there on Twitch tonight, Al. Taking a little bit of a break. I think he doesn't want to stream here at his hometown track.
So maybe the in-car camera not quite up to snuff here at the Pocono Raceway, but it looks like that Joey Pacesetter up on the front here in the Toyota or the Chevy Silverado. The lights are out. Looks like we're getting ready to go back green flag racing.
Well, as we get ready to go back green flag racing, we got to thank everybody over at the Green Forest Tree Supply once again tonight for sponsoring this race. So everybody tuning in, go on over there on Facebook, type in Green Forest Tree Supply, give them a like, and let them know you saw them right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network with the Red Light Racing Scrambler series, and let them know that you were watching. You heard about them. You know where they're at. They also have a website. It's thegreenforesttreesupply.com. They got some great products over there. Use Red Light at checkout for 25% off, but no more percent off the throttle here, Al. We are back to the green flag racing.
Side by side with Martin with a nice start with Murdoch right up the back. Tailpipes down in the turn number 1 they'll go. Everybody side by side. It'll be that number 42 leading them down to turn number 1. Dario right along the yellow line, but it'll be Trevarthen with the momentum up on the outside. He'll drive even off of turn number 1.
Out of turn 1, down the long pond straightaway here. They come roaring for the second time under the green flag circumstances. Lap number 5, and it looks like that Toyota Supra to the outside right now has a nose ahead, but it's going to be Theriault with the preferred line. He's going to go down there. Oh, a little bit of a wiggle out of the 42 Ford Mustang, but now he will hold her back down to the throttle, and it's going to be a drag race down the little short chute here into turn number 3. It is only 3 turns here tonight at Pocono International Raceway, and it's going to be coming out of turn number 3 for the first time under the green flag circumstances. Caution flag going to fly. A couple of them up here in turn 3. Turned around. It's going to be the 915. It'll be the 30 of Justin Gann, the 11 of Leo Bornage, and I believe is that Michael Bromley in his draft top machine possibly turned around as he tried to avoid the spinning number 11. So a rough start here tonight for the Red Light Racing Scrambler series here at the Pocono International Raceway. We will throw it back here in just a second. As the truck says we have it, let's go ahead and watch it. Watching the 11 and the 30, what happens down here into the corner. As, Gann going to drift up just a little bit, get into boardage, and it looks like Regan was right there. There comes Gainey. There you see the 11 parked up against the wall. Bromley going to get involved here, and I believe we're watching back, and possibly I think we have a draft top on board with Michael Bromley. Let's go in and ride from the cockpit of the 948, sorry, into that corner, and he was off the throttle onto the brakes, but there was nothing he was going to do to avoid that. It is a very wide track here at Pocono, but when they're spinning cars, it's a little difficult to avoid them.
Yeah, nothing where the draft tops 948 could have done there. Kind of get out of the gas, got on the brakes, and kind of hoped that the C's part. And unfortunately, that Pepsi can had the draft top taken to it and nowhere to go. So, well, they'll come down pit road and fix it. But that's some heavy front damage on the right front of the draft top Chevy Camaro for Bromley. And, well, he's going to see how much that'll hamper his efforts here tonight. Unfortunately, the 915 Dustin Gainey's car totaled for the night, unable to continue on. They have taken that back to the trailer as they start to load up the 915.
That's unfortunate for him, but everybody here sitting on the 11th position on back, they all come down pit road here on our second caution flag here of the night. Al, I'm going to start from the left side of the paper here tonight on the caution tallies.
Sounds good. That's only number 2. That's all we're going to have here tonight, Roger.
Well, you can never be too sure, but what I can tell you is, we were just talking about that Michael Bromley 948 machine. It's down on pit road as we see it here on our camera. A lot of damage done to him. He's going to have to take some extensive repairs. Al, I just won the Draft Top raffle that Michael Bromley had hosted because the Draft Top beer tools are sold out all around the world. You actually can't even get any of the Draft Tops right now. They sold out on their Kickstarter. They were just shipped out about 3 weeks ago, and everybody should be getting them officially. I won I did win a koozie and some stickers and the Draft Top, which was a spare that was actually sent to Michael Bromley, and Bromley raffled it off, and I bought one spot and actually ended up somehow winning. So I can't wait till we no longer have to do this, even though it's a pretty soothing sound. We're just going to be able to take the whole lid off this can next week.
Well, that's very good. Unfortunately, with our social distancing, I won't be able to use it.
I would say I'd ship it to you, because I know it would only take about a day and a half to get to you. But you have a tendency to not ship things back sometimes.
Well, sorry.
You're like the neighbor that comes over, borrows the weed whacker, and never returns it.
Oh, God, no, I don't do that.
Oh, you don't do yard work?
No, not at all.
Ah, I thought so.
That's why the town's on me, because you were supposed to come up today and do the yard, but instead you're like, hey, we got to go to Long Pond, Pennsylvania.
Ow! I'm from Pennsylvania. King Cuomo's not letting me into New York.
Well, listen, it's a whole nother subject here, but guess what? The Draft Tops 948, the team did a great job. Car has been patched up a little bit rough on the right front, but I don't think it'll hamper his performance too bad here tonight as he's back out onto the racetrack. But your race leader, since the green flag is dropped, has been Max Stereo. And how about Stereo? Winless on the season, but only have 2 more races to wrap up the regular season. So he's sitting good right now as we are getting ready to head towards the postseason. And we're in this Xfinity car for the next 2 weeks here. But how about that? Max Stereo, your race, he's due. The driver out front for north of the border, he is due for a win. He's been very close knocking on the door and lost just by a bumper last week at the Bristol Motor Speedway.
Yeah, he has the most wins in the Red Light Racing SK Modified division. They are in their off-season right now, but he, ever since going on that tear in the SKs, he has been winless ever since. So right now here tonight at Pocono, it could be a good chance for him to lock himself into the championship hunt. Or, well, if he doesn't get it here, we know he's going to be very ferocious next week at Rockingham. Well, we are getting ready to go back to the green flag action here this time. Out of turn number 3, we will drop the green flag for the 3rd time here tonight. On lap number 9, iRacing Pace Truck going to make that left-hand turn down pit road, and everybody back to the throttle. We are racing once again here tonight in your Green Forest Resupply 162 here at Pocono.
That time, Stereo jumping onto a half-car length advantage over to 31 at Trevarthen as they spread out 3 and 4 wide down in the turn number 1. They settle back into 2 wide. Stereo jumping out. He has sole possession of your racing Trevarthen with that Fox number 31. He's working through the back bumper, side-by-side battle for 3rd spot. Skelt and down low with Murdoch to his outside. He'll get by, and here comes the heat. James Heater in that Z-Line 18 car. He'll work underneath Murdoch to the tunnel turn.
Yeah, flames on both of those machines, but right now it's going to be the driver of the 18 of James Heater coming towards the front. He will now take over the 4th position, put 3 cars with flames on him, actually sitting there in the 4th, 5th, and 6th position. But it is all Terriol. Will we get the first officially? It looks like Trevarthen may have nosed him at one point under our caution flag, and he gets a lap led, but Trevarthen has led, or Terriol has led 8 out of the 9.
And the top 5 cars are single file. Yeah, go back to number 20. He's rim riding through turns 1 and 2. Now he'll fall back in line. That's Brandon Minto in the Barstool Sports number 20. He was working the high side of the speedway as Cameron Hearn got by him. Now back there behind him is Dudley. He's working underneath Anderson. Those drivers have been down pit road here tonight. Anderson has Ben as he's holding off the advances of Dudley in that ALS number 49 to the inside, and he's got the 46 of Richard Reagan Jr. right to the back bumper as well. So 3 cars underneath the blanket as they come off of turn number 3.
That's the battle back here with the 49, the 51, and the 946 butt kicker entry here tonight. Coming to complete lap number 10, that was. Working lap number 11 right now. Buckley looking here to get passed by the 35 of Hearn. Hearn came down. He took 4 tires just 4 laps ago, and he is the man on the move. He is on a mission now, running in the 7th spot. And Pocono, Al, one of those tracks that is going to eat tires all night long here. And Hearn, being the smart one coming down pit road, they don't think they had that hard of racing, but just turn 1 alone and then the tunnel turn. They both did it 2 times under the green flag pace. They were just eating tires alive.
They definitely were. 1 car out of shape here back in towards the back of the field. That was a 965 Massey in that old shed 965. He works underneath Strano in the 43. This is the battle for your 20th position with Ira Kolas right there in the 29 behind them as they work down here on the front stretch. Click off lap number 12 as they work here down into turn number 1. And it'll be Massey showing the inside. So side-by-side battles here. Everybody's trying to get into position, getting what they can right now as we work here lap 12. 11 in the books.
Yeah, it looks like the 31 of Trevarthen just got passed in turn 1 by the 86 of Skelton in the Elite Carolina Realtree. And here comes now the 31 of Trevarthen right back down to the bottom. So 2 Toyota Supers trying to give chase to that Ford that is out front here tonight at Pocono. And that Fox, number 31 of Trevarthen, had that inside lane through the tunnel turn, but he actually looked like he pedaled it a little bit. A lot of these drivers are all afraid of that tunnel turn here tonight because it is 87 degrees here in Pocono on the track temperature, so the car could start to skate a little bit as we work back onto the front straightaway. Oh, one of them into the outside wall. I believe that was the 49 of Robert Dudley. Caution flag actually going to fly here as Rothrock is turned around in the 84 machine. Christopher Rothrock bringing out our 3rd caution flag here of the evening at Pocono. We'll have to check back in just a second to see what happened to the driver of that 85 or 84 machine. Let's hit the switches, hit the buttons. Let's go over top here. Watching the 84 of Christopher Rothrock. He was battling with the driver of the 98. That is Ryan O'Danny. Back there in the 18th position he was, as it looks like, oh, he gets into the wall and then hard contact down to the inside wall he goes. Losing the front nose of that machine and a ton of engine damage I would expect now. Watch it back one more time. Gyro camera here with Christopher Rothrock. Hard impact there, Al. There's going to be a lot of damage done now to the Rothrock 84.
Yeah, tough break for the driver in the 84, as you saw right there on board. Just got out of the corner, with maybe a little bit of an arrow push here, right-hand turn, or left-hand turn, excuse me, and head-on collision in that number 84 car. Missing the front bumper cap, and well, aerodynamics are a big part to the Pocono Raceway here, so unfortunately, I think that's going to probably put a big hamper to his race here tonight. But Rothrock, not one of those drivers likely to give up. He'll pull down pit road here and try to get it fixed up and get the best that he can finish here tonight as he works down on the apron to turn in the tunnel turn. So everybody looking like they will come down pit road. This time you think Roger being lap 13 in the books, almost splitting the first stint here. I believe they can go about 20-25 laps on a tank of fuel, and so right now it would be kind of splitting that in half.
Yeah, it looks like here comes the 42. I believe he'll lead everybody then down pit road. Everybody going to come right along with Max Terriol, Michael Trevarthen, James Skelton, Richard Murdoch, and James Heater right now. That is everybody coming down pit road here tonight I didn't think anybody was really going to stay out. Maybe Kevin O'Brien is going to stay out here, see if he can beat Max Theriault to the line, but it doesn't look like he will. So Theriault will get credited with another lap led here as he'll hit his pit box. It'll be 4 tires, I expect, here for everybody down pit road.
Everybody getting down there is the 42 of Theriault's car already done with the right side of the car. Left side is going up now on the Goodyear Eagles, going a full tank of Sunoco fuel. 14.5 seconds for Theriault's pit crew, and he'll come off first. Trevarthen with a 14.3 second pit stop with that Fox number 31. So light and fast pit stop. I believe that was the fastest pit stop of the cycle here. So Trevarthen going to come out in your number 2 position.
So Theriault, Trevarthen, Skelton, Murdoch, Heater will be the first 5 off pit road. Kevin O'Brien not coming down here under this pit stop just yet, so he will be shown as our race leader as we pace here for the 3rd caution flag of the night here tonight at Pocono for your Green Forestry Supply. We're going to take a quick break from Pocono, and we'll be right back here on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became faults of each driver in every race. So you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league if you worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
And welcome back here, race fans, to the Pocono International Raceway. We're pacing here under our 3rd caution flag of the night, looking back off the iRacing pace track here at Pocono, coming down the Long Pond straightaway. We officially have the lights out, and we're going to go back green flag racing. You see that it's Max Theriault, Michael Trevarthen, James Skelton, Richard Murdoch, James Heater, and Tim Blum, your first 3 rows here tonight.
16 laps are in, Roger. We have just 49 more to go. 59 to go. No, 49.
49.
40.
You're right.
I was right. You made me second guess myself here. Theriault, very dominant so far early in this one. Have a nice pit stop here. under yellow flag, and the pits were busy. Everybody coming down, taking 4 sets of tires, or 4 tires, and a full tank of fuel. As the Silverado pace truck gonna come down pit road and leave the field in the hands of that driver in the 42, Max Stereo.
So Terriot going to lead us back to the green flag here. Johnny Pacer in the pace truck will come down pit road as an aggressive left-hand turn and an early green flag here at Pocono. Going to complete lap 17, working lap 18 here tonight. It's going to be a great start by a lot of these drivers as they're all going to head down into turn number 1 side by side. Once again, they are going to dance. Who will be the guy coming out of turn 1 with the race lead as they dive it down in here? It's going to be the 42 hugging that yellow line. Trevorth
Double. Looks like the 965 of Brandon Massey involved with the 11 of Leo Bordage once again. And that Pepsi Toyota Supra. So the back end missing on the back side of the old shed. It looks like the back door was blown right off the old shed. Here in turn number 1 on this restart.
So our 4th caution going to come out before we exit turn number 1 here tonight. Let's take a look back here on the restart. What happens to the 65? Brandon Massio sideways into turn number 1, and he is going to go around. We'll have to watch that back. It looks like the 184 also going to get involved in this one. Watching that 965 of Brandon Massey down to the inside. Oh, it looks like Lee Betzel checked up, and then the 965 into the back of him, and looks like Levitt and possibly also Bromley going to be involved in this one again. So a rough night for these guys here at Pocono. We'll watch it back here. I believe we have the onboard cockpit camera with Ryan O'Danny. He was right here. You can see it in the mirror actually already unfolding. Let's see if we can go back and actually get the onboard camera that we would like.
Looks like Massey just got in on the right here corner of the 997 of Betzel and just kind of settling around. Everybody else is not anywhere to go. The Bohita Esports team member Ira Kohlhaas getting a little bit of piece of the 965 also in that wreck. So some teammate rubbing on that incident there, Roger.
A lot of these guys, Levitt actually getting contact also, and he had to go down through the grass with his 938, so he has a lot of damage done to him also. So that'll put us under the caution flag number 4 here this evening. A rough go of it here at Long Pond, Pennsylvania. A lot of these guys I don't believe are going honeymooning tonight after this one.
No, I don't believe so. Maybe they'll have some choice words after the event, but not too pleasant, I don't believe. We're under the yellow flag here once again. This will be yellow flag number 4 here tonight, and the Green Forest Tree Supply 162. And we really can't thank the Green Forest Tree Supply Company coming on board, sponsoring tonight's race here at Long Pond, Pennsylvania's Pocono Raceway, and great to have them on board, and hopefully they're enjoying the race so far as we have 19 in the books, working lap number 20.
Looks like Josh Buckley came down pit road in his Green Forest Tree Supply Turn 3 Racing Network Need for Speed entry here tonight. He now will get, looks like maybe just fuel possibly for the driver of that number 2. It's an interesting play there. You're down pit road just to take fuel. Looks like Eric Johnson did the same thing.
Yeah, they only got one corner up to speed. It looks like the 997 of Betzel has come to a stop on the Long Pond straightaway there. So some issues for the 997 is that now he's starting to get back going. So possibly maybe the steering wheel popped off.
So everybody down on pace speed here at Long Pond. And while they pace around the racetrack, we'll be right back here to bring you more of the Green Forest Tree Supply 162 tonight, presented by the Red Light Racing.
Assist to the front bumper, and he hits him again now. Rayon Fowler into the outside wall.
He's going to pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's going to get them all done with. What amazing!
Racely to the inside goes Logan Clapman is going to touch in. Pit press sideways. What a save!
Look to the outside as Trunkett goes off. De Jong into second place.
I'm going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
He's trying this contact though.
Slide left of the racetrack. Chris Renner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the outside the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cut back here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Michael Schubert, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over 400,000. This is iRacing.
Back here at Long Pond, Pennsylvania, the lights on the iRacing Pace Truck are out. We will go back Green Flag Racing next time by here tonight in your Green Forest Tree Supply 162 here at the Pocono International Raceway. We got to thank Green Forest Tree Supply for all they're doing here tonight for the Red Light Racing Scrambler Series. Head on over to greenforesttreesupply.com. Get your tree, any kind of green foliage you need to decorate your yard. On checkout, use promo code REDLIGHT to save yourself 25% on checkout. Once again, head on over to greenforesttreesupply.com and get your tree today.
Heard you got a treat today.
I got one of those black walnuts coming my way.
Very nice. The green flag about the drop here is your race leader, is Theriot Witchervart, and his outside once again. Last time is a get going here on the green flag is out. Up through the gearbox they go. It'll be Theriot jumping out to your race lead by half a car down into turn number 1.
Yeah, it looks like Minto's going to go down. He's going to join the inside lane. He was the 4th car, 5th car now in lane. Now here comes Michael Trevorthan back down to the bottom side also. He'll take that Toyota to the bottom, but here comes Skelton as Trevorthan's sliding up just a little bit. Flames out the tailpipe of that 42 as he exits turn number 1 down the Long Pond straightaway.
Everybody making it through turn 1 down towards the tunnel turn. Side by side, Skelton's going to squeeze up in front of Murdoch down into this tunnel turn. This time with the green flag. Skelton with a nice run. He'll take a peek to the inside.
As they're side by side still through turn number 3. The inside lane looks like it might prevail, but actually here comes the 31 of Trevarthen back on the outside. He'll steep the second position back at the start-finish line. And who is that way down to the bottom? That is Cameron Hearn snaking down the front straightaway here tonight. And it's going to be the 86 of Skelton now, I believe, with a possible big move here coming out of turn number 1. He'll officially take over spot number 2.
He'll slide the front now to the Bruising Raceway number 35 of Cameron Hearn. He'll take a look to the inside of the 10 of Blum down here on the wall of the 01 of Murdoch. Murdoch working past Trevarthen for your third spot, so the battle for fourth. Now between Trevarthen and the 35 of Hearn will war off turn number 3.
Yeah, Hearn is very smooth right now. There's another battle back here. It's Ryan O'Danny and Richard Regan. He is coming through the field, the driver of the butt kicker out of the Legacy Esports group. It's the 946 of Junior, and he is coming, but he has had a lot of damage on the nose of this Neoism 946 since the drop of the green flag. He was wrapped up in that first incident, just an innocent bystander, and now has a lot of damage and a long way to go back to get to the front. He is now to the inside here of O'Danny once again, side by side down the back straightaway. Close quarters racing down the Long Pond straightaway here, headed down into turn number 2.
O'Danny with the line on the outside, keeping the momentum up, and now Regan Jr. to the inside will draw even once again down to turn 3, and now Anderson's going to try to make him 3 wide down into turn number 3. O'Danny will back out of it. Anderson working the inside. They'll make contact as Anderson is doing a little lawn mowing off of turn number 3. He'll catch it back up line, but here comes Strano with that number 3. He'll work the inside of Anderson. So Anderson with a handful of wheel, that's 5 turn straight. He's pointed in the right direction.
Yeah, he took it 3 wide there going into turn number 3, which didn't look like the greatest entry point. And then he kind of paid the price for it as he's now has fallen back 1 position and now trails Ryan O'Danny by about a half a second as Strano is still now looking to the inside with his Team Jerky number 3 here tonight. Brand new paint scheme for the driver of the 3 machine of Strano. He's down to the bottom here. Anderson going to have to go to the top side here in the tunnel turn. And now here comes the 33, the Dirty Mo radio of Eric Johnson into the mix here.
Down in the third gear, he got walked off the corner. He'll try to clear Anderson. He might have it done here on the front stretch. Anderson with that bell balloon scooper up there. Power back to the outside with the Dirty Mo radio, 33 of Eric Johnson right there behind him. And right behind them is the 29 of Ira Kohlhaas. That they are going to gain on these drivers as they race side by side.
Yeah, it looks like them in the 19th position, and then behind them is going to be the driver of the number 2, the Green Forest Tree Supply entry here of Josh Buckley rolling around in the 20th position, and right behind them another one of these cars here tonight, sponsored by the Green Forest Tree Supply. That is going to be the 43 of Joe Strano as we look off the back here of Joe Strano's car from the 21st position you're watching. Behind them, they are battling pretty hard back there for 22nd, 23rd, and 24th.
Here the players starting to get worn up, a little bit of shifting as they scrape the wall down in the front stretch, trying to stay in that draft down here on the very long straightaway. Hearing a lot of speed down in the turn of the wall, but no work the outside now as they go side by side.
Yeah, as they work off turn number 1, it looks like Anderson is going to rocket away from these 2 drivers. It is the 3 of Tony Strano and the 33 of Eric Johnson. They single file things out, going down the Long Pond straightaway into the tunnel turn. They come through the little short chute back to turn 3. They will be headed, and this time by to be 28 laps completed here tonight. 37 more this time by for Max Terriot as he comes through turn 3, looking like he has about a second lead over James Skelton and Richard Murdoch, Cameron Hearn, Michael Trevarthen, your top 5 drivers.
Yeah, right there behind them in for the side-by-side battle for the 7th spot. Peter and Troutman going side-by-side. Behind them is Minto and Mauer side-by-side. So that's the battle for 8th through 10th spot. And Robert Dudley right there, the ALS number 49. Those trying to crack the top 10. They went out to the turn number 1, still side-by-side with Peter, working the inside of that Haas Automation number 62 of Troutman.
Yeah, but Troutman's going to be able to power back around with that Ford performance. motor into the tunnel turn here once again. Side by side now, though, will go the Barstool Sports number 20, and the driver that's not too far down the road in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. It'll be the AC Paints machine there of Nathan Mauer. Right behind them, though, we talked about Robert Dudley. Dudley here at Pocono having one of the best races he has had all year long. Right now, just outside that top 10 marker. He would like to come up here tonight at Pocono, and nothing better than maybe have a honeymoon with a great finish.
Mintos and Mauer side by side. Dudley trying to figure out which lane to go with, which one's going to prevail. He thought about sticking that super in the middle. He'll think better of it. Still side by side in front of him. All while butt kicker reeling through this battle. So what was a 3-car battle is now a 4-car battle. And old Danny's tagging along right there in the pace of the 80s, 98 as well.
Yeah, it's one of those tracks when somebody gets side by side, the momentum really starts to slow down here at Pocono because it is such a rhythm track. And now here comes Junior to the inside of Robert Dudley down into turn number 3. It looks like he does have that butt kicker Ford down there, the Abruzzi Raceway Neoism Ford Mustang in turn number 3. Look at everybody go side by side in turn number 3. Now it looks like Minto's going to be able to slide up in front of Mauer, and now real close racing back there with Robert Dudley and Regan back there for that, I believe. What is that, the 12th position, 11th, 12th position?
And Mauer holding on your top 10. 3-wide little contact between Dudley and Regan. Now Mauer's going to get tagged. Look at sideways. That happened. That'll knock both drivers out of the top 10 position as they race down into the tunnel turn. So great driving, nice recovery to keep us green here on lap number 30.
Yeah, approaching that halfway point here tonight. Now Dudley's going to fall back to the 14th position. He's got Eric Johnson behind him. Richard in that butt kicker machine now takes over the 10th position right ahead of Ryan O'Danny. Brandon Minto's right there sitting in the 9th position for all you Minto fans. Al, I think we're getting closer to green flag pit cycles. I believe I heard from the spotter maybe 20 laps might be a fuel run here tonight.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing in the garage area today after the practice session. Was roughly between 18 to 20 laps on a tank of fuel. The driver's screaming for tires well before that. Right now, Therio enjoying 1 seconds. So we'll see here if anybody in the second half of the field first come down pit road, as Therio is just out front setting a blistering pace over the 86 of Skelton in second. Murdoch in the 3rd spot. Cameron Hearn and Tim Blum rounding out your top 5. Everybody's keeping it on the racetrack so far off of turn number 3. We'll see if anybody makes the hard left-hand turn. Not this time, at least not in their top 4.
Yeah, it looks like 5th for Tim Blum. He will not come down pit road, nor will the next couple guys behind him. So everybody going to play the long run because we are halfway next time by here tonight. Or, well, actually, this time by will be halfway home here in your Green Forestry Supply 162 tonight, presented by the Red Light Racing Scrambler Series right here at the Pocono International Raceway. A little bit farther back in the field, here is that battle once again. It's the 33 of Johnson, it's the 49 of Dudley, and it's the 3 of Tony Strano as they work now to turn number 1 down this long straightaway that they call the Long Pond Stretch.
And Johnson in that dirty working to the side of number 3 of Strano. Out of the tunnel turn, the team Jeremy Dancer sucks the machine of Strano working the outside as now Johnson will get on by. That was the 14th position. Now Strano is going to try to set him up with a crossover off of turn number 3.
Yeah, look how they are battling for this 14th position. 12th would be DJ Anderson. Now Robert Dudley, as these guys were kind of battling, you see off the back of the ALS 49 of Robert Dudley, you see them. They went single file. It looked like Strano thought to go back down to the inside as you hear how long Robert Dudley is off the throttle down there in turn 1 as we went on board real quick with the driver of that 49. Everybody back to the single file racing here at Pocono.
Josiah Millen moving up 1 position as he got underneath the number 29 of Ira Kohlhaas. Kohlhaas has a little bit of right front damage on that Busch Latte number 29 as he works through the tunnel turn right now, so might be hampering his races now than 71 hours. Closing down the Penn Manufacturing 940 with Josiah Millen to turn number 3.
Yeah, two Pennsylvania boys that are separated by about 37 miles in distance. It's going to be Maurer actually coming to pit road. Do we have green flag pit cycle starting right here with Nathan Maurer in the AC Paint 71?
As we saw him battling inside the top 10, kind of got knocked around a little bit there, so why not try to take some strategy? This might be a good call. Right side is going up onto the number 71 of Maurer as they work down the front stretch. Is your race leader. So that might lose one lap here as Maurer with the AC Paints number 71 down and away, and 14.4 seconds as the green flag pit stop start underway.
Yeah, here comes the next taker down to the pit road. It's going to be the driver out of the lead. It's going to be Max Terriel in his 42 Ford Mustang. He comes down pit road, and it's got to be a lonely feeling. Oh, now here comes a couple others. Here comes the 20 of Minto. I believe behind Minto might be Ryan O'Danny in the slice of the 80s, and then it's going to be the 3 of Tony Strano also coming down pit road. So the green flag pit cycles officially starting here tonight at Long Pond, Pennsylvania, here tonight in the Green Forest Tree Supply 162. So that'll turn things over here right now for the time being to the 86 of James Skilton. Richard Murdoch is right there, and sitting in the wind is going to be the driver of the 35 of Cameron Hurd.
21 laps since these drivers have last been on pit road. They might be able to stretch it an extra lap or two just based on the amount of caution laps that we've had as they work through. Murdoch really close, hanging on the back bumper of the 86 of Skelton, as it sounds like all three of them are going to come down pit road. Murdoch charging to the inside. Will they get caught for speeding down here on pit road? They're 3 wide down pit road.
Yeah, you see 3 wide on the racetrack. Now we see 3 wide down on pit road, and they actually brought a slew of drivers down. I believe only 2 drivers gonna stay out here under the green flag this time by, and it's gonna be DJ Anderson and Eric Johnson. So they will try and stretch it a little bit farther than everybody else here tonight. Buckley also gonna stay out. Ira Kohlhaas, Josiah Millen, Joe Strano, and Leo Bordage. Michael Bromley also in that pack of strategy players, and also Donald Bennett.
Driver staying out for last on pit road 15 laps ago. DJ Anderson popped off under that last yellow flag multiple times along with the number 2 of Josh Buckley. So they know that they can kind of go a little extra distance, get a little off sequence than everybody else on the racetrack. We'll see how that will play off. How big of a speed difference will it be on fresher tires compared to these guys with 15 lap, 16 lap older tires, Roger, as they work down here in the turn number 1, your race leader, 1.8 seconds over Eric Johnson.
Yeah, you're looking at possibly like a 1.5 seconds to a 2-second deficit on the old tires versus the new tires between, say, DJ Anderson and one of our first drivers down pit road here was Max Terriel. Last time by for Max was his get out to go lap, so we'll see this time by how the speed looks for the driver of the 42. Max Terriel will come across the line. It'll be actually his fastest time of the lap, so he actually has the fastest lap of the race too now at a 56.091 for the driver of Canada. DJ Anderson's last time by, it was a 57.2, so there you see a little over a second difference in that lap time there from Max Terriel to DJ Anderson.
Anderson is going to take the Super of Valvoline number 51 down pit road. He'll hit his marks down to the 55 miles an hour. So your race leader now is going to be Eric Johnson in that Dirty Mo Radio number 33. As he is out front now over the number 2. Ira Kohlhaas stays out as well. Everybody else has come down pit road. And DJ Anderson, Josh Buckley, Josiah Miller, Neil Bordage, and Michael Bromley all on pit road right now.
So just waiting on a couple more drivers to make their green flag pit cycle. Al, I don't believe Eric Johnson or Ira Kohlhaas will be able to make it the rest of the way. These guys were already stretching it, but they also had yellow flag pace laps mixed into this fuel run here. These guys have been out there now for, 22 laps on this fuel run.
Yeah, they remember Ira Kohlhaas and Eric Johnson came down pit road to top off during those last hills. So it's been 17 laps since they've been on pit road. It's now looks like Johnson is going to come down, relinquishing the lead. We'll see what Ira Kohlhaas will do also. So that will cycle everything back over as Daryl just coming out of the tunnel turn right now, down in the turn number 3. Then he will have a 3-second lead over James Skelton. So it'll be Max Skelton and Tim Blum, your top three, once everything cycles through.
Back through here, we'll walk you through where everybody is running in just a moment. And it looks like, oh no, Al, a speeding penalty was assessed to the driver of the 35 of Cameron Hearn. That's going to put him way behind here tonight, and it looks like he tried to push it through the tunnel turn there and kind of going to pay the price. So he now runs back in the 23rd position, about a minute and 3 seconds currently, waiting for our timer and our time tracker to re-upload here to see how far behind Cameron Hearn is going to be tonight.
Yeah, tough break for the Abruzzi Raceway. Number 35, Cameron Hearn, two-time winner this season.
As with a win here in the red light racing division, for the Scrambler side of things, if you win, you are in. I believe actually that plays all good and well except for one driver of the 88 of Sean Butler, as he elected he will not make the whole chase at the end of the season, so he had given up and foregone his win, so he doesn't take up a spot for a couple of these drivers that will be able to make a lot more of the chase races, so give somebody a chance. So, I mean, hats off to Butler and knowing that he doesn't want to take a chase spot away from any of the drivers out here.
Yeah, very, very classy move by that driver. Is now the 35 of Hearn going to come back down pit road, so maybe going to split this, try to make it the rest of the way now. We did see him be able to go 20 laps, so right now this would be a 28-lap run for the 35 of Cameron Hearn. He's back on pit road as he comes down with his Raceway Supra as he looks for his pit box. We'll see he'll hit his marks and he'll stop. We'll see what he can do on the 35 right side. It's going up on the Raceway number 35. Coming back down on all four over to the left side. Tillman is packing full of fuel, so I believe we're going to, last time, we're going to see Cameron Hearn on pit road here as Max Terrio is continuing to lead here around the Pocono Raceway. That guy has finished in second place the last 2 weeks here in different cars, and he is out front now, almost 3.5 seconds over James Skelton.
Yeah, over James Skelton, and then Skelton has about a 1.8 second gap until you see scrape the wall out of the tunnel turn. That put them side by side. Troutman got the better of Trevarthen. And then Heater is just kind of sitting back here in the wind. In the Z-line number 18, he is running 6th currently. 7th tonight here is the Barstool Sports number 20 of Brandon Minto. Right behind him is the butt kicker of Richard Ree, and he is running right now in the 8th position. Ryan O'Danny is sitting there 9th. DJ Anderson now into the 10th position. And look who has rebounded pretty nicely here tonight. It's the Nathan Maurer AC Paints machine. He is running in the 11th spot with Ronald Dudley right behind him. Remember, Anderson, Maurer, and Dudley at one point all made contact, and now they're running back 10th, 11th, and 12th.
Yeah, nice recovery by those drivers. They get rebounded nicely there after contact down in turn number 1, back on lap number 35. And they are rebounded nicely. And remember, Maurer kind of led the green flag pit stops. He was the first driver to come down with his AC Paint Camaro, as he is working lap number 8 since the pit stop. So him and Dario both pitting on the same lap, but it'll be Maurer that was the first one to come down pit road. And you know, that was a good call, I think. I think if I'm in the 70 win camp, I might be thinking about splitting this segment in half and then trying to gain as many spots here, as right now the race is taking on a very green look.
Yeah, and Maurer came into this race tonight here at Pocono a little bit happier. His pockets were full, if you know what I mean. Al, he won a race the other night. I was out there calling for Maurer. He actually ended up knocking somebody off a totem pole, taking home $100, and that momentum carrying over here into the Red Light Racing Scrambler Series tonight here at the Pocono International Raceway. He runs currently into the 11th position, but everybody is chasing the man out front. 38 laps led here for the man out of Canada. Max Theriault will dive it back down into turn 1. It'll be 20 laps to go next time by for Max Theriault. James Skelton still 4 seconds back. That just shows you the kind of pace that Max has, and especially with him being able to pit early, that's what really propelled him out into this race lead. Tim Blum is still sitting there, but man, Heater and Troutman and Trevarthen still battling pretty close here. They are the closest one of your top 5 drivers. as it looks like here comes Richard Regan pounding onto the back bumper here of Brandon Minto as they come down into the tunnel turn.
Yeah, Minto leading the way for this battle right now. Is now Regan's going to work to the inside. He's been very strong in the tunnel turn. That's where Regan's really made up a lot of his moves here tonight, as he's got that button kicker machine all decked out with the Memorial Day colors as we are working our way towards Memorial Day weekend here. We hope you are all safe and have a good time this weekend. And is Minto now going to take a peek back to the inside now with that Barstool Sports. They'll be side by side down in the turn number 1.
Yeah, the Barstool Sports flame number 20 now diving to the inside, and he's got Ryan O'Danny right behind him, and then he's got DJ Anderson. So right now these drivers are all on different sequences, and they all find themselves in the middle of their runs pretty much. Side by side battle, as it looks like the butt kicker 46 will go ahead and get the drive off of turn number 1, but now it's going to be Minto to the inside here in the tunnel turn. He has that, I would call it a little bit of a better rotation down there on the bottom, but it will be Regan once again propelling the butt kicker machine into now the 7th position. He's got damage on that car, but he is not letting it slow him down at all.
I wonder if that we saw last time, Minto able to stay up with him down the front straightaway.
Oh, Danny into the outside wall.
Hard contact for the 98 O'Danny, and that also had contact with the 51 of Anderson, so heavy right side damage on the 98 down to turn number 1 now.
Yeah, that's going to put damage also then on DJ Anderson's machine, so both of those drivers now going to have aerodynamic flaws on their race cars here tonight at Pocono, as this time by to be 18 laps to go, though, as they battle once again down the Long Pond straightaway here side by side.
Side by side down into the tunnel turn. Anderson going to take over that spot on the 98 of O'Danny as they work off of turn numbers 2 and working into turn number 3 as they work here. One car smoking down on the apron as they come off of turn number 2. Not quite sure who that is at the moment, but we'll stay clean and green as they click off lap 48, working lap 49.
Yeah, that's the Christopher Rothrock entry here tonight of his 84. He is gone up in smoke. Remember, he had the hard contact with the inside wall out of turn number 3. His night is going to be officially done. It looks like he's going to join a couple others on that list. Cameron Hearn out of the event here. Cody Levitt also out. Kyle Souza, Brandon Massey, and Dustin Gainey. So a rough night for the driver out of Ohio, also of Brandon Massey. I was passed a note earlier tonight, right before we came onto the live feed. Brandon Massey, the Old Shed sponsorship, they just bought a brick and mortar store out there in Ohio. So they are going to not only be over on the Facebook Live side of things selling items, they also now have a store. If you're out there in Ohio, you can drive over and find all the guys behind the scenes at the Old Shed and pick up things and drive home with them.
Yeah, it's awesome to hear, especially right now with the way things are, and it's nice to see them expanding as they do a lot for the sim racing community. So we've got to definitely thank Brandon Massey with his sponsorship of the Old Shed there. So congratulations to them as the battle here for 8th and 7th and 8th still races right around the show back here for the 7th and 8th position.
Well, what are they going to do when we come down here into the tunnel turn once again? You can see the sun is setting here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. No lights here not in, but at the Pocono Raceway. So we're going to have to get this one in under the daytime. So right now we are pending, though, the final green flag pit stops, as it looks like Donald Bennett is actually down pit road. And possibly, maybe, I believe here comes the 20 of Brandon Minto. He's going to come in for his final pit stop. He'll bring DJ Anderson along with him. James Heater right in front of him. They are all coming down for their final pit stop. Al, will it be 4 tires and fuel here? Or is it going to be 2 tires and a half a tank of fuel, and away we go?
I believe you're going to see a 4-tire stop and fill it full of fuel just in case that yellow silk will fly in the closing stages. Pushing us to overtime is the right side on the 18Z line. Toyota Supra are done. Left side is going up now with the crew. Putting the second can of Sunoco race fuel in. He's down and away. James Heater with a very quick pit stop, 14.3 seconds. Minto down in the wing as well. 4 tires and full tank of fuel for everybody on pit road this time by.
DJ Anderson going to retire here tonight from the Pocono International Raceway. for your Green Forestry Supply 162. He doesn't quite make it to the 162 miles with his 51 machine. A lot of damage on that Valvoline car, so he is going to take it officially behind the wall, and they'll get that car prepared and ready to go racing in 2 weeks at the Rockingham Speedway. But it is all this man out front. A couple others, though, down pit road. Terriol staying out, Trevarthen down pit road.
Yeah, Trevarthen bringing down the 33 of Eric Johnson as well. Ira Colas down pit road, and the 98 of Ryan O'Danny all down pit road right now as Max Terriol working down in the turn number 3. A 4.2 second lead for the driver out of Canada as he works off turn number 3. Will he be taking his car down pit road as your race leader makes the hard left-hand turn and charges the pit road? Can't have any mistakes here on pit road for this final pit stop. This is the money stop for a lot of these drivers. Terriol stay on coming down pit road. James Skelton as Tim Blum will stay out on the raceway.
So Blum will take over the race lead for the first time here tonight in this event. It looks like Regan also going to bring his machine down pit road, but Blum now takes the classic hot sauce. Seam vault number 10 to the top spot here, and somebody in front of him had a little bit of issue that time. I believe that might have been our driver from down under, Kevin O'Brien, in the V-Power shell machine. I'm not sure if he's out of fuel, Al, or if there's just that much damage handling issues on the V-Powered shell 184.
Yeah, I saw O'Brien earlier in the race. He kind of was up the racetrack. His car, he was kind of one of those drivers that were in the wrong spot at the wrong time in a couple of the wrecks earlier on in the event here for the Green Forest Tree Supply 162, as he is a little bit off the pace right now working through turn number 3. We'll see what O'Brien will do, if he'll come down pit road or he'll stay out onto the racetrack. He will stay out. So everybody, now your race leader Tim Blum coming down pit road had a 20.2 second lead over Tony Strano, and then it's one of the first drivers that had come down pit road, Josiah Millen, is handing down the road since lap 14, so he could possibly be playing the strategy. He could stay out to the end. We've been able to see 20 laps as a max, so another 6 laps or so. He could try to play spoiler and get the middle lanes to push the fuel tank. I think you're going to see Millen and Strano both have to come down pit road one more time.
Yeah, so for the first time, the East Penn Manufacturing Deca Batteries entry, not too far from the Pocono International Raceway combination, racing at the Pennsylvania, we'll call it the Super Speedway here in Pennsylvania, because it is the largest track in the state of Pennsylvania that is paved asphalt. And now, I believe this time, Millen actually going to stay out with that East Penn Manufacturing machine. He will lead his first laps here of the night, but Joe Strano will bring his Green Forest Tree Supply machine down pit road.
Joe Strano going to look to relinquish the second place spot. Now that'll put Max Terriol back to your second place, 8.2 seconds off of Josiah Millen. But the speed difference is 1.5 seconds faster than Terriol 42 on those fresher tires.
So now will Josiah Millen bring down that East Penn Manufacturing machine this time by? We will find out. He is off the pace by quite a bit through turn 3 here, about 20 to 30 miles an hour slower than what you would normally see under the race pace. And here comes Josiah Millen. He will pit for the final time as he is coming to get 11 laps to go this time by the Bohica Esports entry out of Topton, Pennsylvania pits. And that's going to turn the lead over. Right there it is. Max Terriol going to go back to the lead. He'll actually nip out Millen at the line, so he'll be credited with his 45th lap of the night led, and it is a long way back to James Skelton. About 3.5, almost 4 seconds back there, Skelton, and he is actually in lap traffic.
Yeah, Skelton was able to chip away. He came in the pits 4.3 seconds behind as O'Danny makes a move to the inside. That kind of made Skelton check up a little bit. That allows number 10, Tim Blum, as they work underneath Leo Bordage. That is the battle for third spot. Tim Blum able to make his hot sauce number 10 work underneath him of Leo Bordage. Bordage still has to come down pit road. You see that car heavily damaged in turn 3. I believe Bordage will be coming down pit road this time by. He'll peel off the racing surface and down pit road.
Yeah, we were only waiting for 2 more drivers to make their final pit stops here of the night, and it will be the driver of that Pepsi Challenger machine, Leo Bordage. It'll be a 4-tire stop as the crew is up on the wall. They got all 4 tires ready for him. Next driver to come down pit road, there it is, the draft top number 948 of Michael Bromley. He will make his final pit stops. Both of those drivers not having the night here at the Pocono International Raceway that they were liking to have or thinking that they were going to have. So now it's going to be 10 laps to go for this man that's out front. He's coming through the tunnel turn. It is Max Theriault setting the blistering pace. It is still a 3.8 second gap back to James Skelton right now, who is running in the second position. Tim Blum is running third. He has a 5-second gap from him to Theriault. Only a 1-second gap between the number 10 of Blum and the 86 of James Skelton as they come through the turn 3. They will this time by. They will see 9 laps to go.
Yeah, 9 more circuits around the Pocono Raceway, where we've had 9 lead changes so far here tonight. Max Theriault holding on to that lead, and he's got a stranglehold on it right now as he has choked out the competition all night long. He came prepared. He said last week when he left Bristol that he was really looking forward to the Pocono Raceway, one of his better tracks, and he has proven it not to be wrong. 3.9 seconds as they hit down into the tunnel turn.
Yeah, the man that's running third last week had crew chief problems at Bristol. That's what kind of put him behind the 8 ball and being knocked out of that race early on. His crew chief out, which is his puppy. It's his dog. His dog needed to be rushed to the animal hospital, but good news. The crew chief, the dog, is doing well, and so is Tim Blum here tonight at Pocono. He is running in that third position as he'll get the 8 laps to go this time by, and he is actually closing the gap here on James Skelton.
Yeah, Blum starting to close in on the number 86 cars. They work down in the turn number 1 to Carolina Elite Real Estate number 86. The Skelton has been in the top 3 all race long as they run in turn 1. You see Blum able to get yellow line just a little bit better than Skelton. Skelton with the momentum working down the back straightaway. He kind of pulls on Blum. There's that gap now, 0.8 seconds between these two for your second position.
A little bit farther back, look at the driver that is running currently in the 9th position. He's got the green forestry supply colors on his Ford Mustang here tonight. A brand new car painted. I believe it was Michael Bromley who did the paint on that because I see a draft top sponsorship, so that kind of gives it away, Al, of who did the paint on that one. It is a beautiful paint scheme here tonight for Josh Buckley, and he is representing the colors very nicely, as it looks like Bennett was down into the grass there going into turn number 3. So the Bennett machine trying to stay down out of the way, and he runs in the 19th spot.
Down the car right behind Joshua Buckley. That will be the 71, the AC Paints number 71. That's Mauer rebounding inside the top 10 after he had some contact earlier on in the event between himself and the number 20, the 49 of Dudley. Dudley sits in the 18th spot right now as they work around the speedway, but Mauer starting to close in on Buckley, and they're all closing in on that 946 of Richard Reagan Jr.
Yeah, the new tires are really going to play a big factor here in the guys who have straight quarter panels, closing in on the guys who have a little bit of damage and that are aerodynamically challenged down the straightaways here tonight. That is Minto, who runs in the 7th spot, and Regan, who runs right there in the 8th spot. So those drivers have a little bit of damage and aren't as fast down the Long Pond straightaway. Pocono's front straightaway is long. And now, an interesting fact about Pocono in this front straightaway is they do drag racing. Standing stops, and I believe it is almost a mile that they do. They come straight out of turn 3 and they hammer down to the end of pit road, and that's where they kind of clock the times for those guys. I believe they have an event coming up on June, I think it's the 7th I seen coming up.
Oh, that's very interesting. I didn't know that they did that, but it makes sense with that super long front straightaway down there. And you're going to take the old Muth family mobile up there?
I think we might be able to rip some laps in the Equinox here or there. I mean, they also do some, they do those road courses where they turn right and left on the infield here also. They got an event for that coming up too. Mazda Miatas, RX-8s, a couple things like that.
Very good to see the racetrack getting back to life here. Hopefully NASCAR will make its return like they did yesterday at the Darlington Raceway as they battle for the 7th spot starting to heat up is Regan all over the back bumper. That is also loud to number 2. Close in on this battle, so it's a 3-car battle. Back here for your 7th spot, the Mark Tool Sports, number 20 of Brandon Mintos, holding on to it right now, but he's got a trunk lid full of Richard Reagan Jr.
Yeah, a lot of Ford Mustangs right here, and don't forget about the Chevy-powered AC Paints machine here of Nathan Maurer. He is also right there too, so if they start to get to racing, Maurer is going to close the gap, but they got 5 laps to go last time by for the driver of the 42. This time here for Max Theriault to go.
Yeah, Theriault out there on a Sunday, drives through the country right now as he works down Long Pond straightaway down into the tunnel turn. Theriault not missing his marks once. Here tonight, very close to the outside wall down into the tunnel turn, and he'll look for turn number 3 this time by. Will be 3 laps to go in the Green Forestry Supply 162.
So what a run it has been for the driver of Max Theriault here in the honeymoon capital of the world that they call Pocono, Pennsylvania. Long Pond, Pennsylvania also. And James Skelton now will come off of turn number 3. He will also get over the comms. It'll be 3 laps to go for Skelton. Blum has actually started to close the gap. I just don't know if there's going to be enough time for the driver of the Classics Hot Sauce number 10. He, right now, is sitting a half a second back off the back bumper of James Skelton. With 2 seconds back till you can find the Z-Line design number 18 here of James Heater. And then it is a huge gap, about 3 seconds back till you can find, caution flag on the speedway. Lee Betzel, I believe, has gone around, and he will bring out the caution flag with just 3 laps to go here at Pocono.
Well, that changes everything.
So we'll have to see what the truck can find here, Al. It's going to change the strategies for everybody. We'll talk about that in just a moment. As the truck says, we have it queued. Watching the 997 of Lee Betzel, the Gamer Fuel Dale's drink of choice, come out of turn number 1, and he gets loose. It looks like possibly something broke on the 997. He came back up the track. Real close for James Skelton. We're going to have to watch it back and check that out from the in-car camera of James Skelton. Let's ride on board here with James Skelton and see what he saw coming upon that wreck.
Looked like that the 997 of the Betzel maybe blew a right rear tire off turn number 1. The car just kind of snapped to the right. Heavy contact with the inside armature barrier. This will change everything now as we're going to go into overtime for the Green Forestry Supply 162.
Well, everybody wanted more racing, so here comes more racing tonight, race fans. And Al, I always forget how many green-white checkers we have. I think it's 2. But Max Theriault here, I think, is a sitting duck. If he comes, they're staying out.
If he doesn't come, they're going in. So it's one of those things right now. Everybody has enough fuel in the tank to make it the extra distance right now. The question is, will they come down for fresh tires? That could be the difference. Or will enough people stay out to kind of pad Max Theriault? As I don't think even fresh tires might hold a candle to the wind to get around that 42 of Max Theriault. He has been on fire here tonight as they all start to come down pit road. They're all going to commit, so they're all coming down pit road. They're going to throw on some 4 fresh tires.
Yeah, it looks like everybody on the lead lap, they will all come down pit road. Michael Bromley will actually take the wave around here. So interesting. So now everybody's coming down pit road, but will everybody take 4 tires?
We will see as the cars hit their pit box. The 42 of Theriault hits it first, and then over around to the right side of the car. Everybody getting at least right side tires so far. 1 car down the way. Regan Jr. down 2 tires. Now here comes Troutman as well. Theriault taking 4 tires. He's going to lose at least 1 spot off of pit road. So it'll be Troutman with a 2-tire stop, going to steal the Raceway lead off of pit road.
And then it's going to be Theriault, then it's going to be Skelton, Heater, Trevarthen, Blum, Regan, Minto, Buckley, Maurer. So it looks like 1 driver, actually, maybe 2 drivers. Joe Strano possibly taking 2 tires there. So Troutman takes the 2 tires for sure. We will have to watch and see how much that will hamper the performance of that Ford Mustang here tonight. It could be the move of the race.
We saw in earlier events how 2 tires weren't that kind. So that caused issues on this restart for the Haas Automation number 62 of Ethan Troutman, who plays a strategy play, but if you look at the right side of that race car, there has been some damage done to that 62 car, as he is now going to be a race leader here once we get the cars there in front of him. You see those guys will be either coming down pit road this time by, or going to be doing the wave around to get back onto the lead lap. But interesting play call here for the driver of the 62. Do you like it, Roger?
I actually do. Now, I'm looking at the trends of this race, Al. We had 4 cautions before this one. All of them coming within the first 20 laps. And in those first 20 laps, what was happening? These guys were all packed up together here tonight at Pocono. What are they going to do here after the 5th caution flag? They're all going to be packed back up. A bunch of them coming down pit road here, taking 4 tires. 2 of them here on the lead lap, coming down and only taking 2 tires. So it's going to be a gamble going down into turn number 1. Troutman can't fire early. As a rule here in the red light racing series is you got to go on green. So you can't just jump the green flag like we see a lot of guys do in iRacing. You got to wait for it. So possibly, what I'm saying is I don't think we're coming back around here without Troutman being in the lead.
Very interesting, and we've seen on the restarts himself back in the 20th position. So we have some new players up front. Heater going to start behind that 42 Ethereal. We haven't seen him on a restart up inside the top 4. We've seen the guys in second place kind of being able to push the race leaders down in the turn number 1 to give them that little extra oomph. But it's an all Ford front row here. The ponies are going to get let loose here pretty soon.
Yeah, and they're going to be chased down by 3 Toyotas, and then the first Chevrolet here tonight is going to be Tim Blum. Looked like Blum was going to walk away with a solid top 3. Now he's going to have to fight for it. It looks like the butt kicker, 946 here of Regan. He will restart in the 7th position. Minto is 8th, Buckley is 9th, and Mao will restart here in 10th position. So things here are going to be interesting to say the least. I believe we should get this one to go here. Justin Gann should get the wave around here in just a moment. I believe so did Donald Bennett and Richard Murdoch, and there they go along with Robert Dudley. So a couple of them will get back onto the lead lap, and we will turn the lights on the Chevrolet. Mouthful there with Chevrolet tonight here. So we're going into overtime here at Long Pond, Pennsylvania.
Trout, 2 tires. Dario on 4 tires. Kurt on 4 tires. Kelton on 4 tires. Trevarthen on 4 tires. So right now, Ethan Troutman is either going to look like a genius or it's not going to pay off. He'll definitely get a better finish to where he was running before this yellow flag had come out. Right now, nervous times, but I'm going to say this right now, Roger, that Grandma, put your teeth in the pocketbook. It is time to get it on.
Al, you left me speechless.
I had to do it once.
You let Al. Let's on the iRace pace truck around, Al. I don't know what. I have nothing to follow that. I'm paging through the book and there's nothing.
Oh man, well, Troutman is ready to give it back on the gas. Is the storm channel of Troutman, or will Troutman be able to get away here on this restart? Is the Chevy Silverado pace truck going to be coming down pit road as the green flag will come out? Attempt number 1 on the overtime. The field at bay behind them is the green flag. It was waving. We're back underway. Great start from there. Out front. Skelton's going to take a look down those 3 wide down to turn number 1.
They're going to be 3 wide by the time they get to turn number 1, and it's going to be Terriel peeking ahead to the outside. He will take the race lead here into turn number 1 as they are 3 wide racing. It's going to be Troutman in the middle. It's going to be Heater to the outside. Skelton down low as they come out of turn number 1 down the long pond straightaway.
3 wide down the backstretch they go, and it's all behind the 42 of Max Stereo as they'll hit the tunnel turn first. They're still 3 wide down in the tunnel turn. Troutman's going to get touched by Heater. Heater up to the outside wall. Heater going to lose their third. He'll fall back all the way to the 6th position as there's still 3. Buckley goes around. Yellow flag coming out. Good one down to the tunnel turn.
Buckley going to be spun around here in the Green Forest Tree Supply number 2 tonight out of the tunnel turn here on our first green-white checker attempt. So put 6 tallies in the caution marker here tonight. We're going to line them back up here in just a couple moments, but let's dissect here what just happened in the tunnel turn. You saw the contact between your top couple drivers there. Let's go back, and you see the contact. You see Heater up into the outside wall. You see him holding it up there. Oh, it looks like Minto comes straight down the track. He reacted to the car into the outside wall. And then the 2 of Buckley going to get into it. Minto going to hit the wall. Heater's going to lose the whole nose clip of his car. Everybody scatters down the short chute here tonight at Pocono. We're going to have to watch it back. I believe we have the overhead here tonight picture. Let's go over top here. Tonight's overhead camera, blimp camera, brought to us by Richard Murdoch. There you saw the bump there by the 62 of Troutman to the 18 up the track, then the Minto machine down into the 2, and then nowhere for Heater to go as he found the 2 of Buckley.
Yeah, Buckley, just an innocent bystander there. Minto trying to react to the Heater mobile on the outside. Well, we're going to re-rack them here once again. Attempt number 2 going to be coming our way here. Roger, you said it was going to be exciting. You didn't say it was going to be this exciting.
Well, I also said they weren't coming back around green, and, well, I was right, Al. I was right. The only thing I wasn't right about is that 62 of being in the lead when it was going to happen. He was actually involved in that right now. You're going to find Troutman back there in the Haas CNC Ford Mustang. He will be now shown 5th. So we'll see if he's able to work his way back up or if he's going to be stuck on the outside looking in here tonight. Looks like James Heater has retired here tonight. So out of the 31 drivers that had entered the Pocono International Raceway here tonight.
After we got through the initial rash of yellow flags, and you know what they say, Roger, yellow flags, green, yellow flags, and they got into that nice green flag run. They had a 2-pit cycle under the green flag, and now the complexion of this race totally changed. But one thing that has not changed is the blizzard up front, that the storm from the north. Max Stereo is your race leader, where he's been most of this race. He has led a race high. Well, he's only led 2 laps in this right now. Let's see here. 58 laps so far here tonight for Max Stereo. And one of the probably the most dominating races we've seen this season out of anybody here in the Red Light Scrambler series.
I think actually, if I remember right, did Tim Blum not win at Watkins Glen?
Oh, he did. He led every lap. You are right.
He led every lap. See, the old noggin, sometimes we remember things here. There might not be any hair on top of it, but we still remember some stuff.
Oh, that's good.
I mean, hey, the old Chrome Dome looks pretty good on the koozie, not going to lie. So if you haven't got your Muth koozie or your Turn 3 koozie or even any of your Turn 3 gear, hit us up over on the old Facebook page or get with one of our crew members here at Turn 3, and we will be able to get you whatever you need shipped to your door all around the world. Let's see if these iRacing Pace Truck lights, though, turn out here on the Chevy.
Not yet.
Johnny Pacer, Al, left the light switch on again.
Well, it probably malfunctioned. It is a Chevy.
I believe, if I remember right, Al, we just did an event last night, and didn't the pace car literally drive right through the fence, or right through the wall, and it was a Ford Mustang?
Yeah, without even a scratch, though.
Yeah, well, they built it with Chevy stuff.
I don't believe that for one moment. Built Ford tough, baby.
With Chevy stuff. I saw it on Wikipedia.
Oh, yeah. Well, then you know it's definitely true there.
I mean, I even have my own Wikipedia, Al. Go look it up. I'm muscular, I have some hair, and we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, let's not get carried away here.
But we're in the home state here at Pocono for the Green Forest Tree Supply.
I know, you said I couldn't even stay. It's far enough. I enjoy being out of the state.
Well, you're from the red zone. You're going back. Yeah, well, it looks like Danny. I say Danny here as I meant to say Al. Danny chiming in out here in chat. Yeah, we're on our green-white checker here. Attempt number 2, so it's going to get 3 to go. See, now you got me all confused, Al. Flustered.
Well, that's my job. Danny paid me to do that.
Yeah, something tells me that that's probably true statement. Right now, though, let's see this time if the iRacing pace truck lights will go out when we come out of turn 3. It looks like Skelton is working his way to the outside, and the rest of the field has already started to double up. They are ready to go. They want to see who's going to be able to do this, if it's going to be Terriel, who's dominated here tonight. Skelton, who has only led 2 laps. Tim Blum going to restart in 3rd. Michael Trevarth in 4th. Ethan Troutman on those 2 tires. He'll restart 5th. And then it's going to be Richard Reagan. He's going to restart there in your 6th position. Then it's going to be Minto in 7th. Maurer in 8th. Johnson is back in 9th. Tony Strano is 10th. Joe Strano is 11th. Leo Borders is 12th. Ira Buckley.
Yeah, Buckley's crew doing a good job patching that car. Hopefully, the splitter will not be down on the racing surface. That could cause some issues for the Green Forest Tree Supply number 2 of Josh Buckley. But he is there, and guess what? Johnny Pacer just ripped the fuse box out to get those lights off.
So what you're saying, it was quality engineering there, and he just kind of got angry at it.
Yeah. Well, I want is they are going to get the loud pedal this time off of turn number 3. You know, these guys were a little drunk when they made this track. They don't have a turn 4.
There's no need for 4. Turn 3 is all you need. What turn 4?
Exactly. I don't know. Hopefully you guys out there are enjoying this broadcast brought to you by the Green Forest Tree Supply for the Red Light Scrambler Series. As we get ready to go, green flag racing once again. Max Dario, James Skelton on the front row.
Out of turn number 3, they're going to come. Everybody look at it right on the back bumper of the car in front of them. We're going to go green flag racing here. Green, white checker, attempt number 2. The green flag is back in the air. Everybody's going to hammer back down. It's going to be the drag race down the front straightaway. The longest straightaway in NASCAR right here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. It's going to be the 42 of Max Terriel storming down into turn number 1. He leads the rest of the crew side by side for the 2nd position.
Blum's going to steal out in front of that. Steal off. Side behind the number 42 at Dario as they work down the backstretch into turn numbers 2. It's a tunnel turn. Skelton's going to get back by Blum on the outside as they dive down in turn 1. Skelton right to the back bumper up Dario.
Yeah, he got there, and then he got super tight. One of them into the outside wall. It's going to be the 10 of Tim Blum. He goes into the outside wall. That's going to leave now the 31 here of Trevarthen taking over the 3rd spot as out of turn number 3. This time by, we're going to see the white flag fly for the driver of the 42. Max Terriel does not have a win this season. Will he be able to come back around this big 2.5-mile track as it is 1 to go here tonight? It's presented by the Green Forest Tree Supply.
There, long pond straightaway. Troutman working to the inside of Blum. That's the battle for 4th, but it's all Max Dario through the tunnel turn for the final time.
Through the tunnel turn for the final time here for the driver of the 42 out of Canada. He'll come through the short chute. It's just going to be one more corner here for Max Terriel. He has led 62 laps here tonight. It's a tricky triangle. He just needs to make one more perfect turn. As this time, he will come out of turn number 3. He will see the flagman with the checkered flag in hand. Max Terriel is going to win tonight's race here, presented by the Green Forest Resupply 162 at the Pocono International Raceway. Terriel going to win. Skelton comes home 2nd. It's going to be Michael Trevarthen finishing in our 3rd spot. Then it's going to be Tim Blum. It's going to be Ethan Troutman, Nathan Maurer, Richard Reagan Jr., and then it's going to be the 3 of Tony Strano. Eric Johnson finishes in the 9th position here tonight. 10th going to be the 01 of Richard Murdoch, and that's a solid finish by Murdoch as he comes all the way back from being a lap down to finish inside the top 10 here tonight.
What a great finish here. They were 3, 4, and 5 wide coming to the checkered flag here deeper in the field. Max Stereo going to punch his ticket to the big dance as he is going to win here tonight in the Green Forest Tree Supply 162. So we will get our drivers here. Stereo, we're coming down the front stretch doing the Polish victory lap here as he has won the Green Forest Tree Supply 162.
Well, as he goes backwards here at Pocono, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back here with your post-race show tonight presented by Green Forest Tree Supply. Welcome back here, race fans. Tonight, we got your post-race show brought to us by Green Forest Tree Supply. We have caught up already with your winner here in Victory Lane. It is none other than the man out of Canada. It's the 42 of Max Theriault. Max, you're going to punch your ticket right here in Pocono to the post-race, or to the postseason, I should say.
Yeah, finally a win for this season, and Pocono has been good to me lately, so yeah, it's a good relief for next week. One race before the playoffs, and we'll see how it goes. I think Rockingham.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you feel about going from this huge 2.5 mile, almost a super speedway with only 3 turns, down to a bumpy short track where anything could happen?
Well, the pace laps will be shorter, so that's good. Last season we finished at Rockingham, and it races differently every time we go there with the new tire model, and I don't know if it might be in the trucks next week. I don't remember. But yeah, we'll have some testing to do to see how it feels, if it compares to the last time we were there.
Well, we're not there just yet, but you're going to lead a race-high 63 laps. The car felt pretty good to you out there. It looks rather clean compared to a lot of them.
Yeah, I made sure that I stayed clean of the tunnel turn 2. That's where it would be easy to slide up in the wall, so for the rest it was just about consistency.
All right, well, Max, who do you got to thank for coming home here, P number 1 here in the Green Forest Tree Supply?
Yeah, I want to thank my girlfriend, my friend Max at Maximiting, and also visit mkmedic.com. They have new supplies for masks and all that stuff, so that's from my friend Max also.
Well, there you heard it from the man who's going to come home, P number...
Started second, finished second, led 2 laps here tonight. James, you had a very fast Carolina Elite Real Estate Chevy or Toyota Supra.
Yeah, we were pretty quick tonight. Max was definitely way better. I tried different lines throughout the race to see what I could do, and then he pulled away, and then it was on the defense. I was watching Tim and then some of the other guys. Here we go. So just glad to survive and get a second place finish.
Next week we head to North Carolina to the Rockingham Speedway in the Xfinity car here for the final regular season race. What's your outlook for next week?
Yeah, Rockingham is usually one of my favorite tracks that we go to. It's like the way it races. I like the hard braking in the one and just really bumpy and abrasive. So I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Well, who you got to thank here tonight for your second place finish here at the Pocono Raceway?
Yeah, I gotta give a shout out always to my teammates. DJ, he's our crew chief with fuel mileage. Don't know what happened to him during the race. Josh had a really good run, got some damage. Sean had a family event, couldn't make it. So my teammates, and then I've been waiting. I've had some of my clients and one of the kids that I teach hockey. They've been watching the past 3 weeks and couldn't get a podium finish to give an interview. So, got to give a shout out to the parishes, especially their youngest son Bryce. He's been watching all my streams and the league races, and he's starting to get into racing, which is pretty cool.
Well, very awesome. Hello out there, and hope you've enjoyed tonight's race, James. We'll see you next week at Rockingham.
10-4. Thanks again, guys, for everything y'all do on the broadcast side.
Run away from me, Al. Believe it or not, I think he's afraid of me, but we're stick this boom mic in front of him. Mike, a third-place finish. You battled inside this top 5 all night. Did you think with that green-white checker, though, that you were going to be sitting here in the 3rd position at the end of it?
Yeah, we ran pretty good last night in practice, so top 5 cars, what I expected. That last late caution there kind of packed it back up and gave us a shot for a top 3, which we were able to pull it out. But Max was class of the field tonight. James really quick, so hats off to those guys. We wouldn't have had anything for Max.
Yeah, but a 3rd-place finish setting up here going into the final race of the regular season. It's got to feel pretty good to know that you had a good points night here. Do you think you can back it up with another either podium finish in Rockingham or a win to lock yourself in?
Well, coming in tonight, tied. There's like 3 of us tied for 11th. So, but great group of guys, man. You get a win or a top 3 with this group, and you're doing something.
Well, another solid finish for you here tonight at Pocono. Who do you got to thank for your 3rd-place finish?
I would like to thank you guys in the booth, Turn 3 Racing Network. You guys do an awesome job of the broadcast. I love watching it. Josh Buckley and all the admins at Red Light Racing. They put on a great league here, and definitely want to give a shout out to the Green Forest Tree Supply for coming on board for this race. And of course, my wife and my boys, Jack, Brandon, and Justin. They put up with the time away from the family while I'm in the rig here, so they put up with it.
Well, there you hear it from your 3rd-place finisher here tonight, Michael Trevarthen, gonna finish on the podium here in Pocono. So congratulations to that whole crew. Congratulations to all 3 of our podium finishers here tonight at Pocono. Even though it's gonna be Max Terriel winning this Green Forest Tree Supply 162 here in Pocono. Al, it took us a little bit of overtime to get this one finished in Pocono, but nonetheless, the tricky triangle continues to be tricky.
And it did not disappoint as they're going to lock himself in. Came in as your points leader. Now we'll have a guaranteed spot in the postseason, as next week is the final round of the regular season here. As we head to Rockingham, the Xfinity cars will stay out in the trailers as everybody will head south for next week's event here in the Red Light Scrambler series.
Well, actually, Al, you and I both made a mistake. It's going to be in a 2 weeks time frame because we are off next week for Memorial Day.
That is right. We thank everybody that serves and have served out there watching the Turn 3 Racing Network. And I know everybody inside the Red Light Scrambler series, they have a slew of drivers that have served and are serving. So we really thank them and appreciate their sacrifices. Not only them, but their family also have gone through over, the period of life here. So we really appreciate all that. And we'll take next week and, we'll enjoy it. Roger, we'll take and enjoy your family time here as hopefully everybody's staying safe out there as the unsettled times that we have right now.
Yeah, we got to thank everybody over at the Red Light Racing Series. You just watched the Red Light Scrambler Series here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We also got to thank the Green Forest Tree Supply for being the sponsor here tonight at the Pocono Raceway. Head on over to greenforesttreesupply.com and get yourself some greenery, scenery for your house, your home, your neighborhood. And on checkout, type in Red Light to get 25% off your order when you head on over there. Tell them that not only did the Red Light Racing Series kind of draw you to them, also let it be known that it was the driver of the 43 out there tonight of Joe Strano. But that's going to wrap things up here from the Pocono Raceway here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. You just watched the Green Forest Tree Supply 162 right here on your Turn 3 Racing Network. We thank you for tuning in, and we hope everybody is safe all around the world.